get ready to have your mind blown a little bit at how easily we can work with the simple wreath base we sell on Calise.com, and we're going to get started on this. So the idea of making this project, and we're going to walk you through each step, but is that you create a bow hanger. Okay, so the bow actually is going to be hanging way above the project. Okay, so this gives you an idea of what we're going to do. So the first part you have to do is you have to create the, we're going to go through making the bow in a second, but we're going to make the hanger first, okay? Now, it's up to you on your project which one you want to do. You could do the hanger out of the bees. That'd be fine if you want the bees. And so what I mean by that, so you can get a visual, is it's the ribbon that's going to go around the top of your wreath. So do we want that to be bees? That's an option. Okay, y'all can let me know in the comments what you like better. Oops, I'm unrolling my other option here. Other option is the hanger could be done in the yellow and black dots. So I tell you what, I think we're going to use the bees since this ribbon's directional, and maybe you'll get a few more tips from that, but you get the gist. We're going to keep our color pattern pretty simple on this design where we just use 2 ribbons. And that way when we do our florals and our accents, it'll be kind of clean looking. So we're going to use the bees just to have that cute bee kind of coming up as the hanger. Okay, so let's do that first. So you kind of have to decide how far away you want the bow from your wreath. Okay. Oh gosh, y'all are all picking yellow. Hello to you too. So a few of the supplies I'm going to need. I've got my glue heating up. If we need glue, we're going to need scissors. A few floral pins, because this wreath is foam, so that's pretty cool. I can totally pin into it and attach to it. And then we're going to need cable ties. All right, and this is the first time I'm going to use a little baby cable tie, because you don't need a big bulky one. You can use one, but we're going to use a baby one, and then I'm going to have an 8-inch cable tie also. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and decide our placement real quick. And we'll tie another bow in just a second, but I wanted to kind of get this meat and potatoes of the video here at the beginning so you could see. So depending how long, now this has 20-inch tails, okay? So as we do the 20-inch tails, that's going to touch the top of the wreath. That's fine with me. I think that's fine. So this will kind of be our length. Now, let me tell you how long that is. I'm going to measure with my bow maker. So from here to here is 16, and I need a little bit more, so it's probably around 20 inches at the top here. So we're going to need a full length, a loop at 20, okay? So I'm going to bring it all the way around. I'm holding my 20 at the top here, and I'm going to need that to be able to loop around. So, and that'll give me a little extra to make my loop at the top. So first of all, we're going to make this into a continuous loop of ribbon. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put it around my wreath first. This is important. Don't make the loop and not around your wreath. We can't get it in there. We can't sneak it in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue it first with a little hot glue right on that piece of the ribbon. Remember, if you use a glue gun, you're just going to be careful not to get right in there and start touching it yet. I'm just popping on a little hot glue, okay? Now, I'm going to put this face down because we don't want it to continue on. Okay, so I just made a little seam. Now that's not going to be enough to hold this, okay? That will rip apart. But I'm going to put this right to the back of my wreath. And I want it centered. So here's my center. I'm going to put it in the center. I'm going to flip that right around. And we're going to just pop in a couple of floral pins. Now when you're working with the foam wreath bases, you got to go at an angle. If you start to do a bunch in one line, you could create a weak point, okay? I got to angle these in. Just a couple. Just do that before the glue sets up. All right, maybe I'll do 3. I'll put one more at the top. All right, this is the back of the wreath we're looking at, guys. We're creating the hanger. Now, I'm going to come back with a piece of ribbon just to make sure I'm not going to scratch anybody's door. I'm doing great. How are you guys? Does anybody have some great plans for today? Of course, we are all in on spring wreaths creating. Okay, so I just cut me a little bee out. I'm going to just glue him right on top of all of that. Come on in here. And I know I want my bees going down in my tail, so here's my first 20-inch tail. I measured it out, I bring it to the center, and I twist it! Yay! Now, I'm going to trim it just at an angle. Just like that, okay? Now I'm going to make my loops at, let's see, we'll make them at, I think we did 7 inches here. Come into 7 inches, and I'm going to twist it. 7 over here, and twist. You see how my right hand goes forward, my left hand comes back. I'm going to make a nice strong twist. 7 inches over here, and twist. And I'm going to start fluffing it right out. Well, we're so happy you're here today with us hanging out. Glad to be live with y'all, and make sure you're on our text list, because I'm going to shoot a text when the second half of the video comes out where we actually design the bottom portion. But this is kind of a 2-video series, because our simple product Saturday projects, we like to keep them under 30 minutes, and this one takes just a little bit longer. So we just thought, let's do it in a 2-parter. Okay, there is that part of the bow. Really easy, okay? You got that. Now we're going to add some yellow. And this tail, oh, you know, in our original bow we used yellow in the back, but that's okay. We'll put it in the between here. We'll just do a little bit different pattern. Okay, I'm going to step this up a couple of inches shorter. Probably 2 inches. I usually go with 2. Same thing, twist at the center. Now I'm going at 6 inches, so we're an inch shorter as we come into the middle. Okay, and I'm fluffing it out and holding it with my fingers. And I hold that center till I'm ready to start the next. Okay, and I get it all nice and pretty. 6 inches there, and scrunch. We're just going to have one loop here. So, although it was unintentional, I have reversed the pattern of our original bow. But you know what I could do? I'll make this one, and you could choose the one you like better for us to put on our wreath hanger at the top of this foam wreath. Okay, so look here, a little bit shorter, continuously decreasing the tail length. And I'm going to twist, and I tried to intentionally do that twist where it was kind of in the middle of a bee, so I could have a nice look. This is 5 inches here, and then we'll do 5 inches on the other side. Okay. And I thought I was going to have to worry about the direction of these bees originally, but they look fine. They look totally fine going up and down. I know on our Bow Wednesday video I cut the tail to make it go straight, but it doesn't really bother me on this one. Okay, there you go. There's our bow. Now we want to go ahead and take it off. And while I'm taking it off and preparing it, y'all vote if you want to use the more burlap one, or do you want to use the one with the yellow in the center for our finished wreath? Y'all pick, since I built this one backwards. Kind of gotten all in on the bees. Okay, an 8-inch cable tie going right up on the side, and I gently pull that up. Now I'm going to rotate this between my fingers, and I'm going to start fluffing before we get it really tight. And that includes bringing those tails down. You got to do that. Now I'm going to put, I usually put a longer cable tie in the back. We're going to use the 8-incher right now. Okay. I think we'll go with the yellow. So right now I'm going to go ahead and put yellow in the center of this one. And we can show you how they both will look up against our color palette. And you could choose what you want to do. I just cut about a 12-inch strip of the yellow polka dot. Then we're going to use it right down the center of this dude. I'm just folding it till I get an interesting pattern. I like this where I get a little yellow dot and a little stripe. I think that's fun. Okay. We'll put the yellow bow See that down the center? That's cute. I'm going to twist. And I'm going to twist. I've got the royal queen bee here. I have. Okay, so there's our two options. So this one I didn't really end up worrying about the tail positioning. It worked out fine. You can go back and watch our Bow Wednesday video this week to check out how we did this one. And basically all we did was cuts on it. And we're going to use that one as our topper to our wreath hanger, okay? So we finished our bow. And let me go back and grab our wreath. And we're going to knock out the hanger on it, okay? Keeping in mind with what I have planned for down here, I think I like this a little bit better. And we already decided, as this is our hanger, and we pinned it in. Let's take a look real quick. If we had chosen this, I'm going to pull this out of the frame. You don't quite see it as much. What if we had chosen this as our hanger? Right here. Like, let's say we put this one. And that was our pretty hanger. So, look at here. Here's the bow we made today. Here's the ribbon hanger. You can see how they would totally both work if we just made those slight changes. So, the takeaway from that right now is the hanger being the ribbon that's used less in the bow seems to really, really work. It seems to really work. All right, here we go. I'm going to come back and we'll finish creating that. But play with your patterns, and you can even do that a little bit before you decide what you want to do as far as your project goes. All right, now I'm going to be making the hanger, which is all going to occur right here. So what we need to do is we're going to need a loop for them to hang it over their wreath hanger or their command strip on their door or whatever they're using. So it looks like I'm going to do that right about here. I'm just going to hold that with my finger. And it's time to grab my cable tie. And what I like to do is just kind of pleat this up right here. Boom, boom, boom. And give it a hard twist. Hard twist it. Okay, and this is going to be the loop they hang it from. All right, and I'm going to take and I like to put a cable tie here to keep it from twisting on you. It's not going to twist a lot anyway because of the bow will hold it, but we want to keep that in place right there. And that's where I use that little baby cable tie. You can use a big one. We're going to be putting another one over it anyway, but I like to have a separate one to kind of say, okay, stop twisting right there. All right, and now it's time to add our bow. And we're voting on the yellow. Look how cute. So this is the hanger that pops up above. And now I'm going to put on the bow. So yeah, y'all can go check that particular video to see more about this project. And make sure you're on the text list so when I release the next video, I'll let you know for video 2 in this series. It's a mini series, y'all. Isn't it cool we're having bow making mini series? Wreath making. Okay, now the next thing I will do is I'm going to manage these tails real quick. I'm going to give them a curl. Give this a little bit of a curl. These are the two shorter pieces. The longer pieces, I think we're going to let them somewhat fall down here. These yellow, we're going to let that yellow kind of fall. Let me curl this one. Okay, so that's our hanger. It's functioning as our hanger to the top here to hold this on the door. And these are our longer tails we're going to let kind of break the plane of the wreath. And there is our bow hanger. We're going to use bee-inspired colors, okay? So we're going to go with yellow and green. So we have this bush that we're going to use, and we're going to first of all start by just tearing it apart so we can get all the little pieces off of it. So I'm going to just start. Usually what I do here is I gently tear this paper. I'll just use my scissors. If you have a box knife, you can use that. Just be careful. I tear that paper just a little bit. And I'm going to pull these out. So I'm just taking and pulling this apart right now, and you just tear these pieces off. If you can keep them somewhat clumped, it's better. You don't have to do as much repositioning. So I'm going to have, it looks like 4 clusters off of this spray, and just take and trim them. Trim them right off. You could use the same bow making and hanger process. I was just thinking, what am I going to call that? To make your hanger. You could use that in a grapevine wreath too. Okay, step 1 is go ahead and fluff it all out. We're going to shake hands with each piece, like I would say in design school, guys. And I like to curl this grapevine. So I'm going to take these little faux vines and curl them just with my finger. You don't need anything fancy. You can use your finger to do that. They all have a little wire running through them. Okay, that one is curled up, ready to go, okay? And I'm going to lay it here. We're going to start to lay out our design. Because of their hanger being in the middle, we kind of want the weight to be a bit centered. It could be off center a little, but we want it to be centered. It'll just make our design lay prettier. Okay, look, I just started laying some on each side, and I'm just going to lay out my design. We're going to keep it real simple. I've got 3 of these little guys, and I'm going to just fluff them out. Get them how I want them. How about we'll put 3 of them, just like that. A little down and a little up. A little bit off center, okay? So this piece, I'll just save it for another project. We'll just put it to a side. Hey, Melanie. Hey, Mary. All right, now, where's my little bee pick? This is the cutest thing. This one comes with 3 little bees, and they're actually pretty intricate. They each have their own little set of wings. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Can you see them? They're adorable. I love their little wings. You can bend them. It comes with 3 of these. So we're going to take and we're going to separate this out and use this in a few different sections. So far we just have it laying on there. I'm going to take and trim these. Hey guys, if you are watching over in one of the groups, which is fine, if you want to comment and be able to comment and me chat with you, just come over to the Khalees page. If you're watching on a replay, no problem. We're just happy to be with you and help you get inspired to create something beautiful. You know, just besides these videos, we have our design school class that's going to be opening up soon. I took those 3 off, okay? So these 3 are separated. We're going to use those throughout. And now I'm going to separate this grass a little. So I'm going to look at how it comes on this pick. Sometimes I can cut it in clusters. If I can, I will. If not, we'll just cut a few pieces off and use them in different spaces. So I'm going to take a few off, and then I'm going to leave the rest on here. So I've got 3. Let's take about 4 off. 4 or 5. 4 or 5 pieces off, and I've got these we're going to leave on the wire. Thanks, Stace. Prayers for a good doctor visit. All right, now with these little grasses, what you can do is curl them. So just like you would with like a ribbon, like a curly ribbon for balloons. You guys have done that before, I know. You're crafters. Because this is glittered, I don't want to overdo it. I'm just going to do a nice little curl on it. And look, I just maintained the whole cuteness of the curl. Can you see it? See how it is there? Cute. All right, we're going to use this first. Now, I'm going to take and just dip this in the glue really quick. My glue pot's behind me, so just a sec. I just dipped the whole little cluster in glue. So I just kind of sealed it together with glue, and I'm going to add it right here to this piece over here. And I'm just going to put a little glue, and I'm going to lay that other pick on top of it. So there's nothing holding it but a dot of glue. And that's really just to hold all those grasses in. Now I'm going to take a floral pin and kind of drag it through that glue a little. I'm going to put it in at an angle to hold all these. Okay? So let's add a little angle right there. Okay? Fantastic! Now, let's do that with the other side too. I've got the grass coming up. This piece will be going down in a second. We're going to go to this other side. we're going to take and curl these too. This is the other set of grasses. Hey, Trudy. Good to see you. Trudy's representing. Of course, all the blue merinos are here. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. Look how cute that got curled up. Isn't that cute now? I don't need to, I'm sorry, I don't need to glue this one because I cut it off. All right, this one's going to go down. Going to fluff it up. This one's going to go right beside it. I kind of like this grass on top of the other. All right, and same thing, we're going to pin this piece in. So I'm going to go ahead and dip that in my glue pot first right here. And then press it into the foam. You see I'm going at an angle. I'm doing that on purpose. We don't want to create any weak points in a foam wreath. Anytime you're using a foam wreath, you can't line up pins. Boom, 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 boom. Or you'll create a break in it. Okay? You guys get it? Hey, Sandra? Now, this last piece, I don't want it straight down just because I like things angled. I'm going to go in at a little bit of an angle. But you can do whatever you want to do. So we're getting the 3 berry picks in, and I added the grass. Then we're going to put the little bees in just a second. I'm dipping it in the glue again. And we're coming at an angle here. Just coming at an angle. Just enough to hold it in. And if you feel like, oh, that could pull out, no problem. Come with a pin down lower and underneath. So I've dipped that one in the glue, and I'm going to just come back at it and just grab one part here with the stem. All right, and you can layer that up above it to hide all that. All right, before we put our cute little bees in or any more of our little greenery, let's go ahead and put our bow in first, okay? And then we'll work the rest of our components around that so we make sure those little bees are flying out. So we have a big bow at the top for our hanger. So I don't need, here's the big bow, right? I don't need to overkill this bow on the bottom. Oh, Ari's in here, y'all. She's gonna go get somebody. So we're just gonna make a cute little hand bow to go here at the bottom. So I'm just gonna pull this aside for just a second while we tie that so we have plenty of room. Bring this over to the side. And I am going to do it with about a 12-inch tail, okay? So I'm going to take that and I'm going to twist this in my hand. Because this is a simple bow, we don't even need a bow maker or anything. And I'm going to go out at about, it's probably about 6 inches. And you're going to scrunch it, and you're going to twist, and you're going to make another loop. And these are just about 6 inches, and you scrunch it in your hand, just like this. You make sure everything looks about even, okay? And there are my tails. And I'll just trim them off straight to begin with, and I'll either dovetail them or angle cut them in a minute. Okay, so there's the first part of my bow. And now I want to take and add in this bee on top of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the tail just a little bit shorter. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing. Scrunch it and twist it. And I'll lay that first tail right on top. Okay, now I'm ready to make this side of the loop. Keep your tails down. You could use a bow maker if it's easier, no problem. Gotta scrunch that. I'm making that just a little bit shorter. But we're keeping this bow really simple. We don't need it to compete with the other bow. Hey, Sherry, good to see you. Hey, Ruth. Glad you're popping in. Okay, so one loop, really easy. Simple bow. Just like a normal bow that you would see. And I'm going to just cut these in between the bees. And I'll make the tails pretty in a second when I have both hands back. Alright, start with a cable tie going through the center right here. Okay. And I'm going to get it tight, but not all the way tight, because I want to add a floral pin behind there in a second. But just like you normally would, we've got to fluff up the tail and get it all pretty. Hey, everybody does their own thing. You know, you do what you want on your design. I have, everything I do is going to be flowing and have movement because that's just the way my brain likes it, curly and whimsical. I put the pin in now, okay? So the floral pin just went in. Now I'm going to get that tight. Okay. Y'all, let me know, have you been making any bee projects, bee wreath attachments? What have you been doing with bees lately? I need to know in the comments. Or are you just eating honey? And do you get local honey close to you? It's supposed to be really good for you. I'm going to take this and cut up about, I usually do about 12 inches. And we'll just get a nice strip. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to just save some ribbon and not use too much ribbon. Now I'm going to take this and just fold it on itself. Let me put the rough edge in. And then the stripes, that'll be really cute. I'll get a yellow, a dot, and a stripe going down the middle, like that. But look at there, a very, very, very simple bow, okay? So let's bring the wreath back. Here's our wreath back. Okay. Okay, and I'm gonna put the bow in, and I generally won't put it straight. I'll take and put it a little cockeyed. So I'm going to put it in sideways here, and I like for that greenery down there to pop out of that bow. Okay, so our pins there, you do need to put a little bit of glue on that. So I'll just take my glue stick from my glue pot here, and I'll bring it over to my project. So there's a little bit of glue on there, and I just take and wipe it on. Just simple like that. I'm going to pin this in where that hangs down. So I'm going to go just a little bit higher, I think. There we go. So it's pinned in and glued down. Now take and let's get our tails laying under this greenery. I want those yellow tails down. And I am going to cut these the opposite way. I like them cut this way. Let's cut them to match here. I'm going to go a little bit shorter because I don't want to cut a bee in half. I don't want any bee abuse, right? All right, I'm curling up that twig. Now let's get those bees in. That's so cute. Here's our bow at the top. So what happens with this whole piece is it's a long, beautiful piece, but it's not expensive to make. But when they hang it on their door, it's a party. It's a dang party on their door. Let's add the bees. Let's get these guys in. So I'm going to start with these. I think I'm just going to lay them first to get an idea. Let's have one maybe right here. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? These have so much dimension, and with their wings, they are just cute. They're not like those chinchy ones. All right, I think we're going to do one on each side, and then I'll have this one kind of fly up from the bottom. So we'll just kind of repeat where we had the greenery and get these guys in. So we'll be able to push these directly into the foam. We'll try that first. If that doesn't work, we'll just bend it like an L and pin it, because they're all wired. Either way. I'm going to take and we'll start off with pushing it in. I'm going to dip it in glue and see if we can push it in. Okay, unless we go up a little higher. Oh yeah, we going in. Perfect. Now it's got a nice strong wire on it, so I can make this bee fly up, turn around, and sit up. Yep, perfect. Lots of dimension on this. Like I was just talking to my design school students, telling them that I just don't make things flat, and my designs aren't meant to be that way. So that's the same thing when it goes with this one. We got to have a lot of dimension. I'm going to push this one in on the other side. This is so cute. Okay, so that one's in. I got my two on either side. I'm gonna have that third one come out the bottom. Like they're buzzing all around the bow. Can you see it? Ah, so cute! All right, I'm gonna come from the bottom and just push it right below. Let's see if we can get it in. I got it. Like I said, if you have trouble getting something into the base, just pin it. It'll solve your problems. So there's my 3 bees. All right, and the final step I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little piece, we're going to break it down a little, and we're going to have it kind of come in around the bow. And in our class, I would call that breaking the plane of the bow. So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm going to break the plane of the bow to give it more depth in my project. So the first thing I want to do is have something coming right up here through the middle. I'm going to take this little berry piece. We'll use it there. And we're going to need a pin to pin it in. Okay. So I'm going to kind of lay it where I want it, right above the bow. And then I know you're not going to be able to see me pin it. So I'm going to dip that in glue and just pin it in. The bow's going to hide it a little. And I'm trying not to pin all in the same place. So I'm pinning over to the side, and then I'm bending it up from here and letting it kind of come up. Very cute. Very cute. Now let's have a little bit maybe coming out of the bottom right through here. Going to lay on top of that layer, a layer of the bow. Yeah, it really looks really cute. I'll post some finished pictures up on the website over at Cleese.com when it's all finished. And you guys can see how it looks hanging low. It's going to be hard for me to show on you on the video here. I'm going to try to push this in because there's a lot of other stuff right here. And we'll have that kind of come out a little to that side. Let me fluff it up. Get my little tails done. So you can see how you can make these really fast. And if you're a beginner, no biggie. You can make one on your own. Let me curl these tails. Because literally all we did was add a little bit of movement to the bees and had them poke up. It's nice and whimsy and whimsical. Now what we're going to do is get control of these tails. When we made the bow on the first video, we talked about how we wanted the, I wanted the tails to kind of come down to the wreath. If you don't like that look, just shorten them up. I think it's really cute. I'm just going to finish fluffing up the bow so you can see how it would look on a door here before we finish. The wreath's link will be there on the supply list. But there it is.